Okay, I realized I wasn't even recording myself talking this entire time. So I'm just gonna start from here. I basically did 20 minutes of my face and I gave you guys my entire life story, and now I have to start from the beginning. It's fine, because you know what? We can do my hair and we can do my makeup, or like the eye makeup, while I tell the rest of this, because yeah, we just figured it out. All right, from the top, make it drop. I'm gonna go in with some Anastasia Beverly Hill eye primer. I always put it on the back of a napkin like this, and then I'll like brush it onto my eye. Okay, so let's start from the top. The Scorpio dealio, like where am I now? Because I made that last video about limerence and dysregulation. And then we got to this place where like I didn't make any videos on that page at all. And then the only time I talked about it was in my live streams and in the podcast, which by the way, if you don't watch it, that's fine, it's okay. But yeah, so for the girlies who don't catch up on that side of the earth, and just to like log it and document it here, Miss Girl, we stopped talking to that man in February. It was the third time that I blocked him. And that time, like, I kind of let him know beforehand. I'm like, hey, like, I'm gonna block you. Don't try to get off the block. I don't think your friends should watch me. I don't think you should watch me. Like, don't try to keep tabs on me. Let it go, let it go. And he basically was like, yeah, sure, that's fine. He did that. He was like trying to continue the conversation. And that's when I had to just be like, hey, I saw that you're trying to find my replacement on your Instagram. Because yes, guys, I do look at the people that people follow on Instagram, especially if it's a guy that I'm talking to. And yes, we kept track. We made our list, we checked it twice, and I noticed that he was looking for other girls with long blonde hair who were of the ethnic variety. It was really creepy. It was literally like looking for the Fleeksy replacement at the time with the aesthetic that I had. Oh my God, it's so hard to get into this eye. I'm gonna use my Makeup Forever foundation powder as a base for that graphic look. But yeah, because me and him were so on and off, and the last off period prior to the blocking involved like 2 months of not having this dude in my life and traveling, I had basically self-soothed. I learned how to live without this guy. I just didn't have that strong attachment and bond. I learned to live a life without him. I learned to live a life where I didn't expect him to return, and it was pretty much easy to bounce back because he wasn't even doing like all that much when he came back. If anything, he just gave me more reasons to block him, especially because I learned that like, hey, this is a person who won't respect my block, which at the time when like we were going back and forth and being all tumultuous, one of the things that I actually respected was the fact that he would stay away. But then like this last interaction, he was like, block me? Like, no, like I'm always gonna find my way back. And I had to make it clear, like, sir, do not find your way back this time. I'm gonna use this liquid eyeshadow by BH Cosmetics, which by the way, I think it looks like it's kind of drying up. I hope it's not. The swatch. But yeah, so after a while, I started realizing like, well, not even started realizing. You guys, I was burnt out. I was burnt out all of 2021. No idea how I want to go about this. I think we'll do like a... So I got really burnt out, and I wasn't this girl who was going through like these breakup, deep, painful emotions anymore. So a part of me like got really tired of watching breakup content, because I actually found that like breakup and dating advice content was sending me backwards. It was kind of making me feel bad and like reviving places in my mind that I didn't need to go back to, that I had moved on from. And because so much of my content at that time was breakup related, and I found myself like not wanting to make it, I kind of started feeling disconnected from my audience. And I really noticed it when I would go live on TikTok, because people would always want to steer the conversation to breakup, therapy topics. And I just started feeling like kind of burnt out by it, because I stopped using dating apps, and I kind of announced it calmly and kindly on my profile. But people would still come to my TikTok lives and be like, what's the drama? Any dates? Who are you dating? Do you have any dating stories? And it started making me feel boxed in like really quickly. It kind of was like making me irritated, because I'm like, really? Do people only like me when I'm like being dysfunctional and in these like messy dynamics? Because I don't want that for myself. So I kind of got disconnected from my audience in the worst way possible when that came around, and it just added to my burnout even further. So I caught myself like banning words about dating and breakups because I just can't handle it. because it just seemed beyond me. I'm gonna use my NYX Epic Wear liquid liner in white. Yeah, so I was really burnt out. I only started showing up because I felt like I had to financially. My vibes were getting bad because I was obviously exhausted, and there was like there was ways that I was changing that like people weren't appreciating. Like I got a lot of hell about my blonde hair. Oh, I actually gotta focus for this part. Okay, I know it's giving Shamu right now, but this looks really cute in person, okay? It really makes the pink pop, but we're gonna have to do more to make that pink pop. I gotta do something. I'm gonna use a ColourPop glitter called Sing to Me Paolo. It's their Lizzie McGuire edition. Look at it. Usually I just take from this part though. So yeah, I basically just started changing in ways that I felt like the breakup audience that I had acquired on TikTok couldn't appreciate. Like, at least not in my live streams and stuff. I don't know. I felt like I was being asked questions that you would ask a therapist. And, while I may feel like therapy, you know, sometimes you guys, I'm the one who needs the therapy. But after I've heard about what these people on BetterHelp do, like starting off sessions in cars and like doing DoorDash and doing like deliveries while they're doing therapy sessions, I can kind of understand now why you guys did see me that way. I just kind of like posted whenever I would get PR. And then when I finally got to this place of like inactivity, chilling, finally kind of like healed, then I felt like, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm not burnt out anymore. I think I'm starting to get bored from like doing nothing, and I'm kind of like excited to post again. Like I'm feeling inspired again. And then unfortunately, sadly, that's when I got the news that it's time for me to move. Well, basically my mom told me that she's selling the house, and while I knew that she was going to sell the house, it was something that I wasn't expecting until like another year or two. But then suddenly she was like 30 to 60 days. And she immediately told me this, and I just went to my room and cried, and I just didn't want to talk to her because I just felt so like abandoned. Like I have this room that has so much shit in it. I just thought this was going to be a place that it was safe to like add to my life here in physical ways. Let's do some mascara. It was just devastating in so many ways. Just feeling abandoned, feeling like, how am I gonna figure this out? I've never lived alone. Like, I don't know how to organize a move like that. My community came together to help me out and send me resources, and I really appreciate that because that made such a difference in my mental state. But until I was ready to talk to her, which I was the one stifling communication and kind of being an asshole because I was so tense about it, you know, we didn't have the conversations that we needed to have. But eventually we did, and we got to a good place. I'm happy about it because I don't have a tense, hostile relationship with my mom. I feel like we actually have a beautiful relationship that I feel like everyone should have with their parent. So for this to like come out of nowhere, it just really hurt me. Not even the fact that she wanted to sell the house. Real quick, I'm going to use Batty B lashes in the style IG, which has been gifted to me in the past, but I buy them on my own now. My pain wasn't that she wanted to move out. It's that I felt so unprepared for it, and that I felt like as a parent, you should just be having like a lot of conversations with me up until that point, leading up to that moment. But yeah, I just felt so unprepared, and I was just so heartbroken. It made me feel abandoned. But we talked, we're in a good place now, and I'm included in the plans. And the plans now are to move to Vermont. And I think this life choice has shocked a lot of people, because when you think of Vermont, it's really like easy to go to this place that's like, oh, that's nowhere land, it's just trees and mountains, and you know, it's one thing to like visit and ski there, but to be an actual resident, like, aren't you pretty? Aren't you confident? Aren't you this person who could be in LA partying and living your best life? Well, you guys, this also made me feel misunderstood, because it's like, do you guys know that I don't party already where I'm at? Do you guys know that I live like a pretty isolated, chill life where I just focus on working out and shopping for my immediate needs and then coming back home and playing on the internet? And that I've been this way for years. And people will be like, oh, well, people who spend a lot of time on the internet are troubled. You should be doing X, you should be doing Y, da 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 da. I will travel if it financially makes sense for me to. But this past year, it hasn't made sense for me to do that. And in 2021, half of the year, you know, like we weren't vaccinated. It also didn't make sense for me to do that. Yes, the Roe v. Wade thing is heavily affecting this decision. Yes, I am willing to move over politics because I think the way that I do, which I mean, I'm progressive leaning and I'm in a red state. No one's fuckwittable for me. And people will act like I'm the Batman. Stay in Florida or like move to Texas. Like states like these need you. But you know what happens, besties, is that I just end up not fucking with anyone. because I'm very opinionated, I'm very political, and yes, it is hard to keep it to myself. And every time I get to this place of like, oh, it doesn't really matter that people are Republican, like people can still be good people. And while sometimes that can be true, depending on, you know, where they lean, right now that feels very impossible. It feels like they're all celebrating the lack of human rights. So I'm back to hating them again. Unless you obviously don't, you know, want to take away people's human rights, then you're cool. But more often than not, it's the people down here, like in Florida, who are the craziest about politics when it comes to being right-leaning and the most like shameless about it. And I actually think that moving to Vermont is going to be badass because I'm going to be places that you hoes can't easily identify and stalk me through. And not you hoes specifically, but the stalker hoes, right? Like it just makes it that much harder for them to know where I am and what I'm up to and where to like expect me. And that's what I want. I want that like anonymity. I want to be able to share my life and be funny and like be who I am without fear of cuckoos finding me. I'm gonna use this lip gloss by ColourPop that was sent to me. But yeah, I think it'll be a great change. I'm looking forward to having new scenery, experiencing seasons. I've never lived anywhere besides Florida. I've also never made a cross-country move. I think it's gonna give me an idea of what that process looks like and what I want for myself if I ever do that by myself. While it is an opportunity for me to move out on my own, I just don't wanna put myself through that stress, and I would like more time to prepare mentally. And I actually wanna have like a job. I don't even know if I wanna live in America anymore. At this point, I kinda just wanna be a nomad. So while I could technically take out like the money in debt and just travel with whatever I have and figure it out, I don't want to just figure it out. I have the confidence that I have because I feel safe. So what I want to do today is I actually want to wear my hair up in a ponytail. I'm going to be using my I&H pony. Yes, it has a hole in the bottom. Yes, it says honey. I didn't get the OG bag when I bought this because I bought mine from Ulta, so I just recycled an older bag. But it is the style Lola, and it is in dark brown. Not my hair being blacker than the ponytail for once. It's fine, we'll work it out. I'm gonna use my Suavecita pomade, and we're also gonna use it with this little brush. I do understand why it is shocking for people that like, I can have a personality and I can be cute and I can be well dressed, and I wouldn't want to be like in a party city, or like I wouldn't be doing everything I can to make sure that I get to a party city right now. But like, you know, I'm not like crazy about partying. In fact, I actually feel like I don't like going to parties because I find that I often am seen as the point of the reason to go to the party for people. Like every time I go to a party, I just find myself being like standing around, being awkward. I'm like, oh, I'm here. When is something fun gonna happen? And then I find out like, oh, I am the source of fun for people. Like me giving people my energy, or even me just like dancing around and being flirty and making plans with people in the future and giving people my Instagram, like that is the party for the boys. And I always find them to not be as fun as they should be. And I find Bottle Girl Life to be draining because yes, I have done Bottle Girl Life. I did it for 3 nights. I find it to be draining, and also like I'm not that in touch with my feminine side in order to like milk a man in a way that the Bottle Girls can do. I'm just a little bit goofy. I think I'm kind of childish in that regard. I'm just not in touch with that side of myself. And I just feel like people in party environments, like they just don't talk to me to just talk to me. Like it's a very shallow existence in my eyes. To me, like it's just, that's me living in my most shallowest existence. I wish that showing up somewhere and engaging in small talk and being someone who just had to leave their house in order to feel better about themselves, like I wish that was only it. No, if I go out and I'm not this person who's like actually having a genuine conversation with you and we're not talking about life, or I can't be goofy around you, like I don't want to hang out with you. And I find that as a pretty girl, people expect you to just stand around and do nothing and say nothing, and they'll even give you like bare minimum low energy to try to seem nonchalant around you. Yeah, I would just rather not do that. I also think that you don't have to be in LA to have a life in content creation, even though it does help with the friends out there and you are more understood. Yeah, that's cool. Right now though, I'm ready for a change in the sense that like I'm doing something that I've never done before. Like I think that seems cool. Like that, like it finally seems like exciting and interesting to me, even though there are things about Florida that I'm definitely gonna miss and I'm not ready to fully leave. And I am worried about having someone cut and dye my hair out there. Like, should I learn how to cut my own bangs? I'm kind of scared. I don't want to test cutting my own bangs on me. All right, before I put on my ponytail, I think I actually want to put on my outfit. That way I don't mess up my pony in the process. So I think what's next for me is I do still want to work on the podcast. I want to keep doing more of these little tutorials. Let's brush it out before I put it in. Also, oh my God, the comb is broken on this one. And I've been meaning to sew it back in, but it still kind of like stays on my hair anyway. So I feel like my relationship with TikTok is kind of weird. Look, y'all can say it. I can see it. You guys can see it on Social Blade. I have not grown since February. Ever since I got permanently banned back in February, my account has been very stagnant. A lot of the posts that I do on there at this point are just kind of to like turn them into reels so that I can monetize that, which is unfortunate, but I don't really have a positive relationship with the app because I just haven't been like rewarded with progress. Like eventually it kind of added to my burnout. A large part of being not burned out is actually being rewarded for your behavior or your activity. All right, this is the final look. There's gonna be a period of time where I'm not gonna be at my house. I'm not gonna have these lights. I'm actually gonna be in between because besties, if you're wondering like why Vermont, like why would your family even wanna go to Vermont? The dealio is that we've been priced out of Florida. Yep, it's true. I think it's like a property tax increase or something. It's like going up like $400 a month over here, and it's just gonna keep going up. And my mom wants to retire. She wants to live her best life. I'm not mad about that. So she wants to sell her house while things are where they are now. And then she wants to go like live out a quaint life. And I want that for her. And if I get to spend that time with her, I think that's all the better for me. Now, that downtime period is going to be stressful, and I think it's going to be kind of like to not have my equipment the way that I have it as of now. And I almost think like I need to buy a laptop or something so that I can edit. But I am looking forward to being in my flea ski era, and I think it'd be cool if I could become like a snow resort babe. I know, extra. But that would be fun. Right now, I'm still mentally wrapping my mind around everything. As far as my content goes, I love my TikTok fam. I'm unburning out. I think a change of scenery is gonna be a really good thing for me. And I don't really care that it's not gonna be in a party city or a party town. At least not right now. That could change in the future. We're good. For now. Life is good for now. I'm using my Twitch stream as a way to finance the move to go over there because I am still gonna have to pay to send my car out that way. I do have to buy snow tires when I get there. I am dealing with a lot of change in the upcoming months. Keep you guys updated. I mostly do that on my live stream, but I'll try to bring it to my YouTube format so that everyone can actually follow along. Before we end the video, I want to do a little strut catwalk. By the way, this was sent to me from Rahway. They didn't pay me any money to do this, and they didn't ask me to wear this today, but this is the look for my outfit. Swerve, swerve. Okay, before my ponytail falls out, let me not get too crazy. But yeah, so I think the weeks ahead are gonna be kind of annoying. I think they're gonna be stressful. I think I'll have some good moments, but hopefully it'll fly by soon. I think I'll still be streaming. I'll just take it over to my cell phone. That's the video for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Go check out my other socials and make sure to give me a follow over there. Let me know how you feel about these videos and how I edit them in this background and this style. All right, guys, thanks so much. Bye.